Hey, what up guys, it's Hey Mitch, and I'm doing my review on Spider-Man Far From Home, spoiler review, so let's get into it, yeah!
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
Are you going to step up or not?
So, Far From Home, Spider-Man, totally awesome. If you saw my Instagram, for my friends who saw my initial thoughts, I thought it was great. It's a great way, great fan service, great way to end this phase 3 of the MCU, great way of doing a post-movie after Endgame. It's just great overall, right? I was a big fan of Tom Holland ever since his lip sync battle. He was always a great endearing character, right? Or person, actor, right? And for him to do that lip sync battle with Rihanna song in the background, totally awesome. And I was a fan of him ever since. And so far, him being in Civil War, to Homecoming, to Infinity War, into Endgame, and now into Far From Home, he's great in everything, right? So let's go with some likes. Straight off the bat, the whole the whole Ned and Betty relationship, that was fun. Great to use it just within this movie. It was just funny to use it throughout, like hey babe, all that stuff. Zendaya was great. Zendaya's character chemistry with Tom Holland. Their characters, MJ and Peter Parker, work very well with me. I love them. Let's go with, the opening sequence with that C-rated montage with Whitney Houston playing in the background and everything. That was awesome. Tara, if you're watching this, I thought of you. And then, of course, the action and all the Easter eggs that was going into it, definitely fun, definitely very Marvel, very MCU, and again, this movie does not let down, right? So, looking at other critics online, I was watching Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy, he pretty much goes into the portions that he likes, and then he leads off or ends with that he thought it was boring, right? And so I think he misses the point. Like, when it comes to Homecoming and when it comes to this movie, it is about Peter Parker's coming to age story. This whole movie, it's different from the other Marvel movies because you're dealing with a teenager, right? And, you know, when it comes to Peter Parker, that is always his thing, you know? His dilemma is that he's trying to separate being responsible and being a hero from what he wants to do. He just wants to be a normal kid, a normal teenager that just wants to go on a date with MJ and wants to have a normal life. And now, like, he has the weight of the world putting on him, like he's gonna be the next Iron Man, and he's not ready to do that. And this movie does a great job of showcasing that, right? And like, the line that's in the movie was really great, that uneasy lies the head that wears a crown, from Shakespeare, right? And so that is definitely the line that is, with great power comes great responsibilities, and you know, it just shows him in a good light as far as him taking up the mantle of Spider-Man, right? Like, in a Homecoming, he had to come like, come on, Spider-Man, when he's underneath the rubble. And it's just, this is another him stepping into those shoes and stepping into even a greater shoes, Tony Stark's shoes, right? And that whole sequence in the plane, like, was super great. Like, I thought really they were gonna go into the glasses and there's gonna be a message there with Tony Stark, but the whole sequence where he's making his suit with the putting on the like a glove type thing, and then with the AC/DC song in the background, but he calls Led Zeppelin, I think. But it's just, and then Happy in the background just watching him because he sees the Tony and Peter Parker, and it's super great. And I think Jeremy just misses that point, you know? Also, you also might want to check out Eric Voss at New Rockstars. He does a great breakdown of all the Easter eggs that's going on, and he pretty much goes into this whole talking about perception and deception that lies within the theme of the movie, which is also really great that they use and utilize throughout the whole movie. So Eric Voss also goes into a great explanation why Peter can't really use his Peter Tingle in the beginning, and so it talks about because of his PTSD of in Infinity War and Endgame, his spider sense really led him to feel his demise early, you know, and so him not trusting it now in Far From Home was a reason for that, and then later on it was the key factor defeating Mysterio. So again, he goes into that, and it was really great. Another thing that I thought was super awesome in this movie was Nick Fury's line when Peter Parker was asking about the other Avengers. Nick Fury, and he asked about Captain Marvel, Nick Fury, or that what we know was Nick Fury at the time. He says, "Don't invoke her name." For Captain Marvel fans, they probably thought that is whatever. But okay, so I liked Captain Marvel. If you saw my Instagram, I did a good review a positive review of Captain Marvel, but I did not like her in Endgame. I didn't like how she's portrayed, and then Brie Larson's as an actress is so divisive. And for the anti-SJWs, that line is just a callback to Marvel listening to the divisiveness that is going on the internet and then on YouTube. So definitely, I think that is a really just a throw for those fans, right? Negative wise, I really don't have a lot of drawbacks with this movie, which is good. I'm pretty sure there is, and then I'm pretty sure going back into this review, I might think of something later down the line. But overall, I think it was really solid, you know? I really enjoyed it. I really thought this was a great summer movie. Like I said, it was a great post-Endgame movie. And so, I guess I'm still on the hype on the positivity of this movie. Maybe later down the lines, I'll probably have a different feeling. But right now, 2 days after watching it, I'm still hyped about this movie, right? Let's go talk about like the ending sequence too. So like that also leads into what I love about this movie. Like again, fan service and everything. For J.K. Simmons to reprise his role as J. Jonah Jameson for the Daily Bugle, or their version of Alex Jones maybe, that was so great. You know, I was literally clapping, and my audience was cheering for that, because we get it. Like we loved him as that character in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and for him to reprise his role was great for Marvel to do, right? Really smart thing to do. And then for the end reveal, like Peter Parker's identity is showcased. That just leads so much like what's going on. Like you have comments of your fan theories of what's going to happen. Obviously, they're doing a departure. Like Peter Parker's not going to work for the Daily Bugle, right? And so this is definitely, we don't know what's going to happen. And so like it just goes into speculation as far as what's going to happen. And the next Spider-Man movie is not going to happen until maybe 2-3 years from now. So obviously Peter Parker my guess is that he's going to be grown up and play a role in like Tony Stark's, you know, maybe in the company and all that stuff, and it's away from home or something. And I don't know what the next title would be, like Can't Go Home Again. So yeah, definitely something to look forward into the next movie. So yeah, and how that might build up and play along, you know. And then the second post credit with the scrolls, also super great. Like just because there's always been like theories or like who's going to be the next scroll, and so I think this is this way of Marvel doing, like we're not going to that story route, but we're going to do kind of like here's a taste of that, what would have happened. And so it also leads into, before Captain Marvel, the Skrulls was going to be a bad guy. They're going to do secret wars and all this stuff, and I think they're going to scrap that. We already see that the Skrulls are good guys in this version of the MCU and how they're playing out. And really, I think they're going to be played more as the Vulcans in the Star Trek universe. Like, these are the first aliens that we have an alliance with. And so, obviously, they're setting up the space version of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sword. And so, they're the defense mechanism, the defense of home world, you know? And so, yeah, I think that's really great for them to set it up and see how the future of the MCU plays on. And so, with the MCU ending in this Phase 3, which is great, I I know that new Rockstars, again, Eric Voss does another video as far as what's gonna be in Phase 4, so you also might want to check that out. But it just, I don't know. I don't know if you're burnt out with the MCU movies. I'm hoping not. Maybe, I don't know, man. I'm still looking forward to watching more of the MCU and how it evolves. Hopefully it doesn't hopefully it doesn't burn too much, you know, that we're like totally done. And I guess it just depends on the characters they decide to bring in. But if the MCU does end kind of here, we're kind of good. Obviously, Marvel, Disney wants to continue making money, so they're gonna push out movies until they can't. And so, yeah, I'm just curious as far as, like, obviously it looks like Tom Holland is gonna lead the MCU, but who else do you feel like is gonna be a part of the big MCU, right? Because obviously, like, Thor probably not gonna be in the picture. Jeremy Renner is probably not going to be in the picture. I guess maybe the next best thing for them to do is start doing a Young Avengers and kind of start soft rebooting the MCU, or at least just moving forward with the MCU. So yeah, definitely something to think about. So wrapping it up, like I said in the beginning, Spider-Man Far From Home is a great post-Endgame movie. And yeah, I thought it was great. You should watch it too. So let's keep the conversation going in my comments below. You can follow me at my YouTube, and where I do other reviews and entertainment and culture. And you can follow me on my Instagram at It's Mandatory Fun, where I also talk about more military stuff with my friend Jen, and also my personal Instagram at Hey Mitch. And yeah, go ahead, like and subscribe.